Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome once again to Women in Business. Welcome back from the break. I'm Kemsha Doreen. We have here this wonderful lady from Nisi Cleaners.
Nisi Classic Cleaners.
Yes, Nisi Classic Cleaners, Madam Victoria Nanozi. We're still talking about how some of these challenges can get you mad. They get you crazy,
Yeah.
right? Especially with labor. You said you have at least 15 permanent staff and then 15 temporary staff. So just quickly, how do you juggle? How do you manage? You have those ones that run. They are there today and then tomorrow. As a woman in business, how do you manage? Are you a mother to them during that time?
Yeah. Yes, I try to be a mother to them. Okay, right away from employing them. Right away from employing them. When you find us in that initial conversation, we are real peers. You're seated there, I'm seated here, and we are talking through things, what my expectations are, and all those other things.
Someone said those mother things don't work. The sisterhood in mentorship in business does not work. I will chase you.
No, but truth is, at some point the wires go off. Actually, at some point, in fact, not even long ago, I was like, but I was different. What happened? As in, you just find yourself.
You've changed. You have to change. Business will change you.
Yeah, I was like, but what happened? I used to be like this, but what is happening? Yeah, you just find yourself, obviously, but the initial, we are like that. And then we also make certain things clear. This is what I expect. I expect you to report at this time. I expect you to report at this time and to leave at this time. This is how you're going to treat our clients. And actually, everyone here, for example, everyone here in this home is your boss. If you don't serve this particular, this one gives you bad feedback, you actually know that we are going to lose that business. We are going to lose that business. We are going to, even if it's a home, even if it's an office. Yes, they will actually do that. Then, yes, obviously I employ people who...
Do you have relatives?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
The thing with relatives and business, how do you manage? How do you manage yours?
No. But for me, I've ever since I started, I've worked with relatives. What's
the response?
My real personal, as in my personal persons. Even my daughter, by the way, has ever cleaned. We have ever gone with her to clean. But like cousins, I've worked with them right away from the beginning. But for me, my relationship with my relatives in regards to work is
professional.
It's a professional working relationship. When we have agreed that we are meeting at such and such a time, or we are meeting in such and such a place, and we are actually going to, it is exactly that. It is, in fact, if we are moving together using the same car, if we have agreed we meet here and you're not there, I leave. I leave. As in, it is just, those things of,
I know this person.
Yeah, actually, yes, now you have reminded me. But I think it's not good to share it here. But then, yes,
then we can drop it if it's not good. Are there relatives that, you give this opportunity to work? Yes, and because of course you pay them, right?
Yeah.
And then they earn a living and then they just quit and then they go back and badmouth you. Has that happened before?
I have not had anyone badmouthing me. Among my relatives. Though I will mention one scenario. I think I had one. Yes, I've employed a relative who has not performed. Who has not performed.
And you fired?
I actually had to let him go. Yeah, it was a shame. I really had to let her go. To let her go. Yes, I know probably she has to, but I don't know. Maybe it hasn't gotten back to me. But for me, once, you have just, if I can narrate that particular scenario, as in you wake up in the morning, she calls you and she tells you, Victoria, today I'm not coming because I'm going for visiting day. And visiting day of another relative of yours. So you're like, but surely I thought this one's supposed to be.
Yes, this is supposed to be work.
It's supposed to be work, but you're telling me you're going for visiting day and you're not doing what? You're not coming. Yes, to tell you the truth, it actually happened not once. Then I'm preparing children to go to a village, so I cannot. You see the reasons that the person is giving you, and
that familiarity line. But when you are very clear about, we had a discussion in the last episode about the legalities that every woman, should be keen about, every woman in business. And we're talking about these, especially when you're working with relatives, you're working with spouses, or they are financing you. We just talked about all these different gray areas. And I remember in one of the conversations, they were saying that you have to be as clear as possible from the very get-go. It will stop you having future problems. But talking about the legalities, the formalities in your business, you are registered, because clearly by the time you're getting all these big fish, you must be registered.
Yes, we are.
What about competition? Let's talk about competition. I know for sure within the cleaning business, just like any other business, there is ever something new coming up. Yes, always something new. Some of the best machines are out there. They are very expensive. True. The clients that you work for all have different demands. Yes. Others will. You told me earlier on in a conversation that one would even follow you around as you clean. How do you balance all this? With those ones who are following you around.
The challenge that we have in cleaning, one of the challenges that we have in cleaning, especially actually now, probably the people who started this business much earlier, earned a lot from it. Now, the challenge that we have now is that companies are more than earlier. And then we also have the challenge whereby people think that cleaning is actually cheap.
Because they can do it themselves.
Someone was telling me, with cleaning, I can even just stand there by the road, then call people, and then actually people come in and do what? And clean. People forget the things that you put in. You've talked about competition. Someone will invite you to come and clean probably their home or their office and all those other things, and has expectations. Like I said, they expect you to come with all these huge machines and do that, and then looking at the amount of money that the person is paying you, actually even moving that machine from wherever it is, it may not be able to cover. So there is that challenge, and then there is a lot of competition. Anyway, I already said, just like any other business, whereby you find, like for example, you make a quotation, make a quotation probably thinking that I can clean if I put in this, and this, and cleaning must be big on paying labor, because many times it's labor intensive, and actually even getting people who know what they are doing is also not easy. So you find you've made your calculation, and someone says they can work for half. And then you're like, but how do these people do it? How do these people? And then you find, I was talking to one of my, still he has a cleaning business, and he has been there for some time. It's like, you know what, we are the people who have started this business as ourselves.
Because we keep agreeing to those amounts.
You find that like when you probably you find yourself agreeing to those particular
because
amounts.
You need the money.
Because you need the money. Now, like if the previous service provider was charging 600,000 because you want that same contract, you find yourself maybe offering 550, and then so that
it keeps going down. Then the next person, they'll say, but this person was, we will give her 500. Of course, they will not say 550. They'll say 400. Then someone's like, okay, let me do. So as there was a time I was talking to one of, he was like, he actually posted on Facebook, and he was like, at one point I boasted over 100 employees. So I was like, hey, what happened? You had 100 employees at one point, and now you're doing totally different things. So I reached out to him and wanted to find out what really happened in the cleaning business.
Yes, he's in the cleaning business. He was like, Victoria, now cleaning is the lowest of all the businesses that I do. Then I was like, but what happened? There is no money. So there is that assumption
that there's quite a lot of money.
There is that assumption, but the input, like you talked about, there is a lot. By the time you save to buy that
machine,
that machine, you have really. So that is in order to beat that competition. It's a heavy. You need a lot of investment.
I also believe you talked about. Although sometimes it doesn't even count. We're talking about now the big fish, right? The really good clients. They also, I think, boost up your portfolio. And then by the time you are reaching out, for example, to another client, the moment they get to see that you bagged this particular big client,
true.
You're able to negotiate. So the bigger, the heavier the client, the bigger for you. But also, you may reach that point where you need that money, because even talking about the 15 permanent staff, you need not less than 3 million. 3 million and above per month.
3 million and above. There are things which come in.
So I'm just thinking, and these people want their money.
They want their money, but there are also things which come in. You need that buffer. You need buffer. You need buffer employees, buffer people. Like someone tells you today I'm not coming because of this and this. You need someone who will step in, and you also need that money. Then people fall sick. You also need to be. There was a time one of my employees, the lady, went away for 2 weeks. She went away for 2 weeks sick, and yes, we all fall sick, and you can fall sick and fail.
You took her back?
Yeah, I actually took her back because I was like, there's no way I'm going to discriminate someone because of sickness.
Yeah, but then during her absence, you have to bring in someone.
Yeah, you have to bring in someone, and usually those are not permanent employees, so their terms are different. So you find there are those expenses which really come in, and which needs to be catered for, the insurance and all those other things.
Talking about your ever consistent, improvement, because you've been saying you've been growing. Yes, and this is what is wonderful for you. Is what is the good experience that you get to notice as you grow. As you're growing, the business is growing. So even those moments where you want to run mad, tomorrow when it's a brighter day after the madness has cleared, then you are happy that you have actually gone through it. True. I also know that you went through Stanbic, I think an incubator and an accelerator, right?
It was an incubator.
It was an incubator during that time. And you learned all about the formalities that you needed to have in your... Have you mentored any other person? Has anyone come up to you, really? Has anyone come up to you? Because you've been right now since 2015?
Yes, 2015.
Yes, and this is quite a while. Has anyone come up to you seeking for mentorship?
Yes, actually. Yes, I've got people coming in here and there. Here and there asking, how can we go about this? How can we go about this? Just in case I want this. How can I do this? But even recently, actually, just this week, someone sent me a message. Okay, so one of my customers, she called me and asked me, Victoria, there's this friend of mine, she's in Hoima, she wants to start a cleaning business. I want to find out whether you can help her. She has challenges of finding market and all that. I was like, no, it's okay. You can share my number. So she reached out. Actually, today is Monday, but I think today is Tuesday. Over the weekend. Yeah. So she was asking me, and I shared with her.
Why are some KG? Why are some, let us say, within businesswomen or businessmen within their particular areas not very open the way you are to mentoring others? They feel what? The competition we already have is enough. We don't need more. We don't need more. What is it? What is, according to you, who is within this particular sector, what is the vibe down there?
What is the vibe?
Yeah.
No, by the way, I, for one, I've also been helped.
I know.
I've also been helped. Because recently I was seated in someone's office who is also doing cleaning. I actually called him and told him, I want to know how you do this, how you do this, how you do this. And he invited me. He was like, Victoria, come. It was a public holiday. I went and sat in his office and we talked over the cleaning business. That is not the first one. Many others have reached, because I know each one of us anyway view the market, view the market differently, view the market differently. But I obviously also know, I also know that you might feel that because you might feel that competition.
Just a little
yes,
bit.
you'd be like, but supposing they take my customers. Yes. But we cannot run away from it. We cannot run away from it, because you can also bring the people as employees. You can also bring the people as employees. They work for you. Like this guy, I have not experienced it, but he was telling me, like his own people, like when you come and clean this office, a neighbor might see you cleaning. Might see you cleaning.
And they also want the same service.
And they also want the same service. Yes. Obviously, they are not going to ask for your boss's number. You will go and tell them, but I can also do for you. I can also do for you the same service. Then they don't bring that money back to office. Yet you facilitated them. Remember, you facilitated them to come and clean. You gave them transport. You did what? And actually, even marketing.
Is that happening?
Yeah,
that is happening so many times.
That is happening so many times. So some people say me, I don't employ permanent staff. When I get a gig, I just invite them, come and work, and then let them go and do their own things. So how
do you break even when that is happening?
Hey.
It's not easy. How do you even break even when that is happening because they are taking potential business away from you instead of referring. Yes,
to the company. They do the work themselves.
These are the other, the inside scoop, actually, the inside scoop on the cleaning business.
Yeah, true.
And this is why it's amazing to be able to sit down with women in business and find out what their specific journeys are. Because this is real. This is life for you. It's real. You have to make money.
You have to make
you have to pay. Yes. Those that you work with sometimes are snatching business from you.
Yeah.
And you have to keep moving on.
You have to keep moving on.
How was it during COVID? How was it? I love to ask about this particular time because some thrived, by the way.
Yeah.
Others expanded, yes, and are proud of it. And then, unfortunately, others collapsed.
Yeah.
You kept going on. How was it for you?
Anyway, for me, the COVID period, actually, I didn't work. The interesting bit is that light was shown on the cleaning business, as in it was an essential.
Oh yes, this
it was
sanitizing and everything.
The sanitizing and everything, as in we were given permits, we were allowed to move, and all those other things. But remember, our customers were not working. The offices were closed. So either way, because at that time, we were cleaning homes. We had homes which we used to clean routine every Friday. Every Friday, someone goes there and cleans. Friday or Saturday, whichever. We also had offices. But you would find that the girls now cannot move. The girls cannot move. And then even these people are at home.
So they can do their own cleaning.
Yes, but Victoria, we are at home. Yeah. We are at home. So, actually, for me, especially the first lockdown, I didn't even earn.
How are you surviving? How are you surviving?
If I told you didn't have any money saved or whatever, that was a very trying. It was a very trying time. It was a very trying time. So, in fact, for me, I started rebuilding my business like kind of afresh.
After the lockdown.
After the lockdown, as kind of, because many things
changed.
Many things died. You find that organizations also changed strategies. Yeah. In fact, one of the organizations even took my staff. As in because they changed, we were like, Victoria, we no longer need a cleaning company. And my girl was there.
Retained.
Was retained.
To do the in-house cleaning.
So you find,
instead of paying you 2.8, they would rather give her 300 or 400, and she actually does the cleaning.
She actually does.
What was the specific learning points, the things you learned during going through the business, having the business going through COVID? Apart from the savings, that one I think really you learned.
I really learned.
You learned about the savings, seriously.
Really learned, by the way. As in, you need a buffer. We should not think of now. Just now. We should not think. And actually, in most cases, that's what happens. You find that you're living for the now.
Yes.
You find like you're pressuring someone to pay you, to pay workers.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm looking for money for salaries. Please help me and do what and clear me. As in, that is what. That is all you are looking at. The next, the next salary payment. The next salary payment. You're looking out where to find the next money, and as in, we find ourselves in such a situation. So we went into COVID when you're actually not prepared. Yeah. When you're actually not prepared. And then, but I believe that we need to be futuristic, thinking about anything, any eventualities that may.
From the lessons learned during that time, what have you put in place? Okay, what are you putting in place? Because I know it's not something when you are restructuring. There are so many particular needs, so we don't expect you to be superwoman immediately. But knowing that the savings, that bell is ringing. What are those particular things you're now putting in place as a businesswoman after the lesson learned?
After the lesson learned, I'm trying to strengthen my systems. Trying to strengthen my systems. Currently, that is what I'm doing. Trying to strengthen my systems, bringing the particular people that I need in this particular business on board. On board, I actually need, so that I can free myself of certain things. But putting, then I also, a clear focused strategic plan. Where do we want to be in such and such a time? And then coming up with activities, and then seriously, as in even in our budgeting, even as we do, We do all that. We allocate monies for anything can happen. And then also read and research and do all the things.
Have you tried to diversify? I had one, yes, a lady that I had a conversation with, and she was into, she was into all this, the cosmetic and everything. And then she said once all that crashed because of COVID, because it was halted, just like you said, you couldn't move. She also couldn't be able to supply, so she got into she making sanitizers, which were there. And good enough she got, yes, and then good enough she got a big deal to supply. Yes, but she has maintained her sanitizers even till today. So what about you? Did you diversify in any way?
Interestingly, actually, about sanitizers, even before COVID, it was one of my businesses which I actually wanted to do. By the way, interesting. In fact, during COVID, let me tell you the truth. I was like, I wish I had done my transport. What's this?
Oh, yes.
I would be working right now.
But you can't regret.
But you can do it.
You can't stay in regret, yes.
Then about sanitizer, I had thought about, in fact, even contacted other people who were already producing sanitizers at that particular time. I wanted to even give them as gifts to my customers, like when you're leaving a particular home, you leave the sanitizer. But it was something that I was still building.
Oh, yes.
Then COVID came. Then COVID came, and I was like, I wish I had actually pursued.
But didn't it,
And interestingly, when I saw many sanitizers, you know how you would find so many on the street, on the water, and I was like, but how will I?
Yes, how will I compete?
How will I compete? And I never watered that idea. I left it at that. Although, like you're saying,
didn't pursue it.
Yeah, I didn't pursue it. Although right now I'm thinking of things that can motivate people. I'm thinking of coming up with products that can motivate people to live in a clean environment.
Okay.
To live in a clean environment.
Would you care to share, or it's still secret? We don't want to preempt.
Let me just keep it at that. But that is what I'm actually working on.
Yes.
As in, if, like, for example, your children, they should not wait for the maid to come and pick up their cup from their cup from the table or something like that. Everyone should appreciate a clean environment, even in your own neighborhood, even in your community, and we should not be selfish, hygiene and all of that. So that are things that I'm thinking about.
The innovations.
That's the things that I want to add on.
I'm very sure KCCA, KCCA would be very happy to have, because there are, there are still issues with behavior down in these other spaces. Now, in just very, very quick words, we've seen all these different issues that you've gone through. I just want you to look into the camera and tell that person who wants to get into this particular space, yes, just as your business, the cleaning business, what are those particular things they should be mindful about, and what are the opportunities? What are the opportunities out there? Just look at them and let them know so that they can also pick up the courage to start.
Okay. One thing about the cleaning business, I would encourage everyone to start. I started with the laundry business, but depending on what particular area you want to join in cleaning. Cleaning is a very wide industry, as in you can start. I've seen people doing washing bays, I've seen people doing laundry home to home, I've seen people, there's a lot that you can do. There are people who are selling liquid soap. There's a lot that you can do in cleaning business. One of the motivators that people usually have in cleaning is that it is an easy entry. It is an easy entry. As in, there was a time someone asked me that, what exactly do I need for me to enter the cleaning, to start cleaning? As in, what do you need? Have a bucket and...
Yes. Yes.
It is, before you even think about the marketing and the things that you have in your home. As in, if you don't want to sleep hungry, you can't fail to get a customer that you do laundry for, or you do simple things around the home for. So it is an easy entry. It is an easy entry. And then about when you enter, as in, you find a focus. What is it that you want to do? What is it? Where can you cling? And where are you best? Where are your interests? So it is
because it's wide.
It is actually very wide. There's a lot that you can concentrate on cars. I saw someone who is mainly doing car lights, cleaning only car lights. Yes.
As part of a garage, or
she does it mobile.
Are you sure?
Yes. And that is
let's wrap up. Let's wrap up on this because we won't end. We won't end.
True. So there's something. There's something for everyone. There's something for everyone about competition. I think we should collaborate instead of fighting. Instead of fighting one another, because there's something that you can do. There's a machine that you have that I don't have, but we can work together. We can work together and achieve the same objective. You heard it. That is the inner scoop on the cleaning business. It is wide. You can start wherever you are. Instead of being competitive with one another, just collaborate. It works. Please don't be selfish with information when someone reaches out to you. Because you help someone, it's a trickle-down effect. They also get to help another person. And it's not even just about fighting for clients. There'll always be another niche. It's not just only one particular client. This is Women in Business. I'm Doreen Kemcha. My lovely guest has been Victoria from her cleaning service. See you next time and join us on Women in Business. Until then, bye-bye.